What an incredible book I have in front of me. If you haven't been on a trip to look at street cats around the world, this is now what you have to do for the rest of your life. Every trip you take from now on, Jeff Bogle has written a book, but it's photographed a book. He's a travel writer, he's many things. He's very famous as a stay-at-home dad. I don't think he stayed at home a lot based on this book. It's called Street Cats and Where to Find Them, the most feline-friendly cities and attractions around the world. And it really is an extraordinary accomplishment, Jeff. You went to all these places. You didn't just like Photoshop in pictures.
I
Yes,
no, I definitely did not Photoshop anything. Hi, thank you so much, Tracy, for having me and for the nice words about the book. Yeah, so not much of a stay-at-home dad last year to my kids or to my cats, and the kids were fine with it. My cats less they did not like that I was gone and brought home a lot of smells on my jeans and on my sneakers for
oh,
them
you
to
did.
investigate. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Which do you think cats are as annoyed by you bringing home cat smells on your pants as dogs are?
I don't know. I don't have a whole lot of experience with dogs. They were annoyed. It's nothing a churro or two can't fix, as I learned to buy their affection with their favorite treats. But I think they were fascinated. My one cat, my little feisty tortie baby with a broken tail, Pecan, she loves the other smells. She would not if she sniffs around my sneaks and then just lays on top of them, puts her paws in my sneakers and just lays there.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow. Isn't that cats are so amazing in
they
the
are.
they interact. Luckily, she's not peeing in your sneakers. I've had
No, thankfully there's no stray pee around. My kids and their cats, they live with my ex still. That not so lucky right now. One of their cats is fine, just went to the vet, but is having some pee outside of the box issues that they're trying to figure out.
tell them to write to me. We can
I
know out of litter box problems are actually OL out of litter box problems, OLB, out of litter box problems. That's a saying in
oh
the cat industry, the pet industry. OLB, main reason people get rid of cats. The sooner you fix it, the better it is. But the books, the cats in your book, Street Cats and Where to Find Them, they don't have those litter
they're
box problems because
they're not using litter boxes,
boxes,
no,
right?
but it's not a problem.
No, it's not a problem, although in some places it's a problem when they're pooing in people's, I don't know, window box or in their
Yeah,
front garden. But that's a different issue. These are towns and cities and countries where having free roaming cats is part of generations, even beyond generations, decades, centuries of cats being part of the culture. And what
true.
I love about your book is you've done a lot of thinking about that. So we might think that the cats in Cairo, Egypt, who you include, have been there longer than the ones in, let's say, Lima, Peru. But there's some places the cats have been there almost since the beginning of time, it seems like, right?
It does seem like that. Yeah. The origin story for many of the cats and many of these locations is very similar. It goes back to industry and using cats as unpaid labor to keep rodents away. A lot of fishing industries, a lot of coastal towns, Reykjavik, going back 600 years or so, where they brought cats in to keep pests away from the fish. Cats were working animals and just wanted some love and the stray piece of fish as payment. And
And
that's the story I encountered a lot as I would travel is cats were loved eventually, but initially, and still in some cases, like Santiago, Chile, in the markets of Chile, cats are shop cats and market cats that keep the mice away from the produce.
it's really interesting. The one in Iceland surprised me the most because you
Me
explained
too.
that it used to be, or still very much of a fishing port town, and and the cats were fed with those leftovers, but also needed to keep the storerooms and even, I guess, the boats clear of rodents. It's really, I gotta say honestly that you are a travel writer. You've written for every publication known to man on travel. So you have a passion for it and you're really good at describing it. But I really think that many of the places that you have in the book are places that cruise ships now stop. Now, I think, having been someone who's recently embraced the idea of cruising, uh,
Okay.
to my own shock and consternation, because cruises, those are so corny and you aren't really seeing the place. I use
Mhm.
it as a floating, like, hotel. That's Explora Journeys lets you do that. And a lot of
Okay.
the places that they stopped, people were taken off at buses to look at various churches, various walls, various ruins. My husband and I are like, you know what? This boat is so beautiful. We're staying on the boat. But if I had street cats and where to find them, you could make an entire cruise around it.
It's funny you mentioned that. I am doing that.
No way.
Yeah,
Tell
so
the
I
world.
started streetcatcruises.com. Starting
Stop
next
it.
October, I am going to be hosting street cat cruises that go to a lot of the European ports, starting in Europe, to a lot of the great European ports, Dubrovnik, Kotor, Valletta, Malta, to take people on guided walks to show them
Oh
the cat.
my goodness.
Yeah, and the funny thing, the origin, I've written a lot of cruise stories for, as you say, a lot of different publications. I was very late to cruising too, and still have a love-hate relationship with it. But I also see it, the potential in it. You get a little sampler of a place. It's like going to an all-you-can-eat buffet. And I mean that literally too, because you eat too much on many cruises. But you get a little taste of a lot of places, and then you go back on your own on land to explore deeper and have more meaningful time in these places. The idea for my book started on a cruise. I was on a very old cruise ship writing a story for Good Housekeeping about aging. One of my most proud stories. It's a travel story, but it's really a human story about aging. And we went to ruins. I went to the original site of the original Olympics, and I'm walking around all these fields in Greece, and I'm wondering why we're so fascinated by old stuff. These are old rocks in a field, but we bemoan when we age, or when women age specifically in America. But spend thousands and travel thousands of miles to look at old rocks. But we
Really? Yes. Yeah,
but
it's
we
like,
don't
oh,
we
this
don't
used to be a building. All you can see now is a little bit of the foundation. Whoopee.
but we don't give ourselves the same joy and grace to see ourselves as we age, and what that means and how beautiful that can be. So I'm on this ship and we're going to places, and I went to Istanbul for the first time ever. And Istanbul is the kind of the street cat capital of the world. And I've always wanted to go. And we had an overnight there. So I spent the better part of 2 days just walking the streets, going into the mosques, seeing the cats. And I got home from that trip, had one of my own cats on my lap, and I sent off a funny tweet. Most people don't respond to them. This was a few summers ago now, talking about how I'm gonna pitch this book about where to see cats around the world, and then how to explain to your cats why there are like 9,000 photos of other cats on your phone. And people started reacting to that. But like, I'd pre-order that book right now. And wow, this is wild. And then 4 months later, like magic, I had a book deal with one of the biggest publishers in the world. And now this summer, this book is here. The book that I flippantly made a joke about is actually a real thing. So I went back out into the world, went back to Istanbul, and went to 20 countries on 5 continents in half a year. I was traveling a lot, walking about 10, 12 miles a day, had cats on my lap everywhere. It was a dream come true. And it's all dedicated. This whole book and the cruises I'll do later, it's all dedicated to my soul cat, who I lost. Not funny, I guess, but coincidentally, as we record this today, 6 years to today was the last full day I'd have with her. We said goodbye to her 6 years ago tomorrow as we record. And it was a big elaborate way for me to keep her name and her picture, which start the book, just in the world forever. Her name is Tilly. I I literally can't actually stop crying. Every time I say her name or think about her, I start to cry. And I'm about to, you could probably hear it in my voice. I'm about to do that right now. But she starts the book. There's 2 photos of her, and it's everything she taught me. This whole book it's about cats, but it's really about her and how she taught me to slow down and just appreciate the world and to just relax. I'm a busybody like my mother before me. But cats help us. Like, let me sit on your lap and don't move until I'm ready. And you're going to just chill out, whether you like it or not. And Tilly taught me a lot, but she definitely taught me to just breathe and enjoy the moment.
That's really beautiful, Jeff. And I think it's one of the reasons that so many people who love their cats love them. It's for
Yeah.
what we don't do with them and what they do for us internally on a soul level. To go back to Istanbul for a moment, Istanbul is the setting for the first and only full-length documentary movie
Oh,
about cats.
and what a movie. Oh,
And Dr. Elsie's Precious Cat, which has been a sponsor of this show and of Dog Talk and Kitties too for over a decade, said, I saw Ketty. Did you see it? I said it was so well
Oh,
done. And
beautiful.
she said, could you make a cat film festival the way you do the dog
Ah,
film festival? And I said, this
yeah.
is now 8 years ago. The eighth premiere is going to be in New York City, and you're going to have to come. And we'll
Oh,
probably try and give Street Cats somewhere to find them to the winning filmmakers.
I would love that.
Great. It'll be wonderful to have you there, really. And my reaction was, I can't imagine that A, there's any movies already out there, or B, that anybody could make a movie about a cat, because cats, as you said, they're there when they want to be and not when they don't want to be. How do you get a cat to do what you want? Inundated with submissions from people
Yeah.
who weren't writers like you. They created in a different way, and they were average, everyday people as well as professionals, filming their cat, giving it captions, doing a voiceover, funny, charming, many about losing cats and the grief and the long-lasting grief. So Istanbul was meaningful for both of us because the street cat culture there is powerful,
Yeah.
and they're absolutely absorbed into the everyday life. And I
They
think,
are part, yeah, they are part of the heartbeat of Turkey in general, but
yes,
Istanbul specifically. They go where they want. They're into mosques, up onto the people praying, down into the subway system. They are part of the community, a thriving part of it. And for locals, of course, but also for visitors who just can appreciate. They're so healthy, they're cared for. You'll, as you walk around the streets, you'll see food out, you'll
yeah,
see little homes for them. Not that the cats really even need that, they will sleep anywhere, but I'm sure they love a little cubby hole to crawl into and get away from there's a lot of people in Istanbul that live there and that visit. Tens of millions of people live there, and so yeah, a little cubby hole to crawl into and just get away from the hustle and bustle, as we all would like to do from time to time, is
and
appreciated.
especially the love-hate cruises that bring way too many people to places that are basically there to look for ice cream and a t-shirt and maybe look at a ruin and go, I saw that ruin,
Exactly.
and go back to grazing like cattle
At the buffet.
on the boat. But that isn't all boats and that isn't all people. I want you to talk about this cruise. It sounds riveting, and I want to be your number one cheerleader. And this is such a great idea because I honestly, you go to these places. I just recently went on a cruise to a lot of these places, did not get off. I don't want to walk on the wall in Dubrovnik. Sorry, folks. It's a cement wall. They charge 40 euros to walk on
It is
their wall. And
so
I don't
expensive.
I don't want to walk on their wall with a bunch of other tourists going, why are we on this wall again? Oh,
Exactly.
we walked on it. But if I had your book,
Yep.
I was on your cruise, it'd be like, we're in Dubrovnik. All of you suckers go to the left. We're going to the right.
Exactly.
The
And we're gonna
cats
sit
are.
down. We're
We're
gonna
going
get
to
that. We're gonna
chill
get that
out.
gelato. We're gonna get that
Yes,
cup of coffee, but we're gonna
yes,
sit down and relax.
yeah,
And undoubtedly, a cat is gonna jump up on our lap and let us pet it. And we're gonna talk and we're gonna tell stories about
yes, yes.
real stories about the real people that live here and the volunteers that take care of these amazing animals. Yeah, so the idea, so it's a perfect, it dovetails perfectly with who I am and what I do. I've been a travel writer for almost a decade. I've traveled to many places, trying to, many of them on cruises, but also trying to have real experiences in every place I go, whether that's, renting an apartment, obviously not during a cruise, but renting an apartment and going to the local market and trying to assimilate and talk to locals and eat where locals eat.
Yes.
My goal when I travel to foreign places is to not hear my home language.
No,
If I'm hearing my own language, I'm in the wrong part of town.
thank you. And if the menu out front is in
It's
English
in English,
and
yeah.
it starts with hamburgers and fries, hello, goodbye, because
Exactly.
that then you didn't really go anywhere.
So this first cruise and hopefully many more to come is gonna open up these places in a way that regular excursions and regular itineraries aren't going to do necessarily. We'll see famous stuff and old stuff on the way, but my main goal is to show people the cats, and where the cats live tend to be where people live. So you're going to get to see neighborhoods. You're going to get to go to places you might not otherwise have gone to. And I'll tell fun stories of making the book. My wife and my daughters accompanied me on certain parts of this. And the part that this first cruise is going to go to, my oldest daughter was there. There's fun stories about being in Malta and how she cleverly kept rerouting us past this one gelato shop. And I coughed up so many euros. I'm like, how do we keep passing this place? And she's, oh, do you mind if I pop in and just get one more mango gelato? I'm like, yeah, it's weird that we're in front of this again, but sure, yeah, you can have one more. So we'll go to that gelato shop for in her honor and get mango or whatever flavor you'd like. And the great thing, what I'm happy about, I'm working with a travel partner who's got great rates, way better than you. It's on a celebrity ship, this first one, way better than you can book through Celebrity because of group pricing. And I am not charging anything above and beyond. A lot of these hosted cruises, you pay an extra fee. I'm not doing that. I just want people to come pay a good price and then walk with me if you want, because I don't want to get in. Some people may want to do some Game of Thrones stuff in Dubrovnik. I'm going to hope that my walk isn't going to interfere with other excursions they can do. I'm going to try to schedule it either before or after the official ones begin so people can do both, because they're going to want to check those boxes. Tourists are tourists, and not all of people may never be back there again, and I get it, but there is so much more to see than just kind of what's in a, and I write for some of these travel websites, what's on a travel website.
And also, there's also so much less to see. Funnily enough, when I was a teenager, we had to stop in Malta. So we're talking the Dark Ages, Game of Thrones years. Okay, we're talking the mid 60s when I was a teenager. So my mother had my sister and me there, and somebody else she was traveling with, one of her intrepid friends. And it was a stopover before some other place that as a teenager I now can't remember that had she was getting a doctorate in comparative religions from Columbia, and
Wow.
she was going places where they had snake worship. This was
Okay.
like this was her, it was like her street cat cruise, except for there was no cruise involved. Let's go a place where they have a really great snake worship, and then I'll incorporate that in my thesis or something. She was quite a character. So we're in Malta, and honestly, you can say what you want, and you maybe have to be politically correct. There's no there, okay? You have two teenage girls. You're in a place that's an ancient port. There's nothing else there, folks. I don't care what they tell you. It is devoid of anything but a pier. Now, the cruises are going there because, oh, cool, a pier, this'll work.
Yeah.
Interfere with anything else. If I had known there were cats, having just adopted a street cat in Rome where we lived at the time,
Oh, wow.
it would have been great. It would have
Yeah.
been cool. So if you're going to Malta and the cruise company is trying to tell you there's something they've cooked up for you to see, yeah, I wouldn't buy it. I would definitely,
To walk with me instead.
if you
Yeah.
don't go on Jeff's cruise because the date doesn't work for you, take the book. Just it's big, it's heavy, it's gorgeous. Take it with you. It'll show you where to go in these places and have an authentic, real, connected experience. Okay, what are the dates of your cruise? And you're saying you're a cruise within a cruise. So
Exactly. So
it's
this will be this, it's a cruise that's happening. So it's on a regular ship. People that would book with me are going to be signing up to get a unique experience within the cruise. So I'm going to be hosting happy hours. I'm going to be doing book signings. I'm going to be telling some stories around dinner one night. And then in these ports, Split, Dubrovnik, Kotor, Malta, and then we end in Athens and do, if people aren't rushing home right away, which hopefully they'll want to spend some time in Athens, having an incredible catwalk. So the woman I interviewed for the Staying Safe with Street Cats portion of this book, and in the Greece portion, she is going to guide us on a walking tour of the cats around the Acropolis and around. She takes care of them, does trap, neuter, release, and is a wonderful, drags around a big bag of food on wheels, and the cats just come running to her, like Sound of Music running, arms open wide. It's an amazing experience. So yeah, it's streetcatcruises.com is where you can sign up to get all information. I haven't unveiled the booking link. I haven't done all that yet. It's just we're in the gathering some emails, and I will be emailing people very soon with the dates and with the pricing for the cruise itself. And then what I'm planning, because I've done a lot of trips that were media trips, like press trips. People take me somewhere nice in hopes that I write about them. And they do like little things in your room or your cabin on the cruise ship every night. So there's going to be some special little room drops, they call
oh,
it,
adorable.
that get you ready for the next day in, say, Kotor or in Malta or Dubrovnik to be with the cats. Some treats, some other little fun things I have planned. It's going to be special. I hope people want to do it with me and come along. But yeah, you've mentioned, just to go back to the book, you mentioned how this book can help you. You don't need to go on this cruise. This book has travel intel. And one of the things I'm really proud of with it is, so in each location, And there are at the back of the book, there's festivals, cat
Yes,
festivals,
amazing.
and cat cafes. I go to Taiwan, to Taipei City, to where cat cafes began, and I created a little circuit so you can
I saw
hit
that.
yeah,
24 hours.
24-hour cat cafe circuit to walk. You will be stuffed by the end of this circuit, but you will have spent time with massive Maine Coons in essentially someone's patio. You will spend time with Lycoys and Grumpy Cat, those Grumpy Cat cats. There's a photo of one wearing a bib. It is, I have a lot of favorites, so I photographed this whole book myself. That photo is hilarious.
It is.
He's a very funny cat that needs to wear a bib or he'll make a mess of himself, I was told, in this one cat cafe. But in all of the locations, the street cat locations, I tell personal stories about what it feels like to be there, where to go, where to eat, where to stay. And then there's a cat cuddle rating out of
I
5.
saw that of beans, toe beans. That's
Yeah.
so darling. And you talked about one place in Matera, Italy, in the
Yeah.
south of Italy, and you said, you know what? These cats want no part of you.
No,
They're
that was the lowest ranked cuddle rating in the book.
But that's interesting to people who love cats. It's okay if people want to go to the south of Italy or to Sicily. There's a place you can go where it's almost like, where's Waldo? Did you see
Yeah.
that? Where's the cat? It's all good. You know, you don't need to get cat hair on you to have a good experience. It is also, the book really is armchair travel.
It
It
is.
really, because as you say, you describe it with such passion and enthusiasm, what you ate, where you ate it, where you walked, what individual cats acted. And you have also a link in most places to a local place you can donate to that are taking care of
Correct.
the cats. One place I noticed, the town itself takes care of the cats. There wasn't even a donation place. Is
Yeah.
that, wasn't
Yeah,
that?
so one of the cat islands, I assume that's what you're referring to, one of the cat
Yes,
islands in Japan, and this
yes.
is literal island of cats. There's more cats by far than people, and they don't want or need donations. They, as a community, these are community cats, you could say, on an island. They take care of them. Now, there are restaurants, there is a shelter that has a dining choices. The money you spend on the island is how you help. So you go, you visit. There are cabins shaped like cats, cat faces, which are incredible. That if you're a fan of manga, I was a couple episodes ago as we record this, you had a manga cat coloring book offer
Yes.
on. So if you're a fan of manga, these cabins are designed by famous manga artists, and there's original drawings on the inside of the wood. They're amazing. When you stay on the island, you are helping. There's no donation needed. And then you just get to walk around this tiny speck of land in the water and be with more cats than you can even imagine in one like square mile. It's
This
incredible.
reminds me of a wonderful documentary, very lively one that was in the Cat Film Festival in the early years. I might have to go back and get it again for this upcoming one. A guy who traveled the mania for cats in Japan goes through all the places with the tchotchkes and the stores and the
Yep.
all the stuff and the cat island as well. And the way people had their cats in strollers, spilling out of strollers as they walked them around in whatever town. It was really quite amazing. What are the dates? You don't know the dates of your cruise, or you do? Because I don't want it to conflict with the Cat Film Festival premiere in New York, October,
Oh, is that in October?
October
Well, October
20
of 26, October of 20 of next year.
of 2025.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the cruise is 2026.
Oh,
So I
perfect.
will be around in October of
Okay.
2025.
Well,
And
we
then,
want you there. We want you
yes.
there with this book, and we want you there to regale people. There's a Pooch and Pussycat party the night before at
Okay.
Prohibition, and it benefits Animal Lighthouse Rescue that brings the cats and dogs from Puerto Rico
Oh,
York for adoption. So we're gonna see a lot of Jeff Bogle, and we're gonna see a lot of street cats and where to find them, the most feline-friendly cities and attractions around the world. It has been such a delight to spend time with you. That cruise sounds heaven. So the fall of 2026, everybody save your shekels and save your travel days, because there's something you could do that will be a life changer. You should put it on your dreadful term bucket list. This is a new
ah.
bucket list item that never existed before. Thank you so much, Jeff, for
Oh, Tracy, this has been delightful. Thank you
entering
so much.
to the world of cat people. It's really wonderful. Thank you so very much.
Thank you.